Alright, hold up. Gotta make sure everything is running smoothly. And as I do that, enjoy a little bit of silence mixed with a little bit of talking. Alright, cool. So that works out. I know I'm live. I can hear myself speaking. Do a quick share on Facebook real fast. Shit, if I could spell, apparently. Cool. Alright. So I'm going to end up... I'm going to start. So thank you and hello to another live stream with yours truly, Mitch. We're going to continue on with stories, the Path of Destinies. I'm going to try to 100% the game. Probably won't be tonight because I'm a long ways away from completing this book, as you can see to the right. I think I'm like halfway through one of the stories. But I don't quite remember.
It was a stone of the purest.
Oh yeah, I was.
It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager, thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once, and he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him. Why not capture the core of Skyripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon. "It's the core," said the stone anxiously. But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Alright. So I can't remember. What did I do? View my stories real fast, because I gotta... No. No, because I have the stone. Find the gem. So I went, found the gem, and I found the core. So maybe this time around it's gonna unlock another ending, so let's go ahead. We'll go kill her.
Why was he listening to a talking rock? Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself. To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
Damn Skippy. Ugh. So, I gotta. I mean, I love playing this, and I love live streaming a bunch of other games, but mostly like Rocket League. But I'm I feel like I'm running out of games to live stream, and I do want to 100% complete this, especially since my internet seems fine right now, and it's not going to be like the last frickin' live stream that I did where the video cut out. That still annoys me. I'm too stubborn to take it down though, and it pisses me off. That's why probably a weekend live stream is in the future for a lot of things. Alright, let's kill this bitch.
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Bernardo had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the transcendent emperor? Was it the future? Feed the souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls, its thirst for blood. All right, I get it.
This was going to be interesting.
Damn right it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna murder a bunch of people. Ow. All for a chest. God damn it. Alright, whatever. We're out. That looked like something I could pick up. I was intrigued. I was interested for a second. Looks like a bunch of ravens down there. Alright. I gotta keep reminding myself what I'm going for. So I got my combat. Maybe... Yeah, I'll go upgrade my sword energy, and then I'll move towards everything else. It's gonna take me a while, but...
The ravens on Zenobia's island were no match for Bernardo. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls, and with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
You couldn't hack this kind of firewall. You had to warm it up to you.
Well, I did warm it up for me. Now give me a fucking... Ah, you dirty little bitch. Oop! Ow, ow. Oh my god, am I still getting damaged? God damn it, Alfred. I should stop taking alternate routes, because I already got everything. I just... And all they feed me is fucking apples. I don't need health.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
Yeah, let's jump down. Alright, moving on.
Zenobia was waiting for Bernardo. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
Are you here to surrender?
She seemed as cocksure as he felt.
But she didn't know he had the stone.
And I've missed you too, love.
He chuckled.
She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
Fuck it, I want to fight. Oh. It's always like a hit and miss with it. It's like sometimes you don't need the correct sword to open up the gate. And sometimes you do.
Get over here.
I'm hoping one of these chests just gives me... I don't think experience is a thing in here. I've already read this. Like getting experience out of these chests, but that'd be something that... It'd be a whole lot more helpful, especially in this stage of the game.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At school, she'd been the determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way. Kill her, whispered the stone. You cannot win your rebellion without it. Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way.
Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
And obviously, we're killing her.
Of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more. And then the light went out of them. Renato felt amazing. Power was rushing into him like water from a burst dam. Oh, such brilliance, exulted the Iblis stone. Tasty.
He felt a bit bad about killing her. He was pretty sure she still loved him. But needs must when the devil drives. Renato returned to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly.
It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done.
Yes. As much as I don't like to play an evil... Okay, I lied. When I play video games, I love to be straight up evil. Go full on chaos. Real life, not my nature. But I can't help it. It's fucking amazing.
The Nexus was beautiful. He'd never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sun so soft. The stones so warm. Black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there.
Alright, going back to my choice. Oh, hey, look at that. Again, if you guys have seen my playthroughs, you should know by now that this is my favorite sword because I love increased attack speed. As back in the day when I used to play World of Warcraft, I played a hunter who was a DPS character, and I just, if I can deal deal as much damage as fast as I could. I felt if I love ending fights quickly. Give me I know they don't give off experience, but I want experience. Wow, it's this way. Because it'll make getting it more easy. Like, I know you're gonna get...
Ahead was Lapino. What was he doing here?
Uh-oh.
Bernardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old man! Please don't kill me! Why would I kill you? Asked Bernardo, although he had been thinking about it. You've become... look, I mean, no disrespect at all. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep? I suppose you wanted, Bernardo said. Poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Damn it.
Whoopsies. My bad.
He'd go to the outpost, use their far speaker, tell the Emperor what he'd done, and then he'd go to the secret rebel base, let them know he was ready to lead them to victory.
Oh, he was just sitting there burning.
Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the far speaker toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Yes! Applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his far speaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino.
That's a hard one. Like this is a new, different outcomes that I haven't gotten yet. And I'm gonna have to play through and find out the other one. But I'm feeling Nope. Sorry. I love my friends. But I already killed 2 of them. It's just time to fight. Let's go full on diabolically evil.
Renato called the rebel council to let them know to gather their forces. Then he killed the far speaker toad. Why? Well, because to make sure his sword was sharp. Oh no, that's awful. So no one else could use it. Yes, that's it. Then he set off for the ruins and the secret rebel base.
And I have a feeling all I'm going to see is ravens, and I'm going to kill them all. I have a gut feeling that is exactly what it is.
The ruins were crawling with ravens. Probably looking for the secret base, Renato thought. But then he realized they're probably looking for me. They must be very scared of me. Well, here I am.
Yep.
You are the best warrior ever,
Whispered the Iblastone. And he had to agree with it, for once. Who was as good as Renato?
Ah, no.
Renato checked for a false compartment. Nope.
I know I'm gonna be killing rebels. Da-na-na, da-na-na. Sorry.
That's the traitors! Roared the ravens. Renato was so happy. The stone was the best friend he'd ever had. Really? Who would bury such a treasure in the desert? Soon, he'd go rally the rebellion and usher a new age for the islands of Earth.
Yay!
Urged the stone.
let it make you emperor.
Come to think of it, Renato thought as he put down another raven, why shouldn't I be emperor? How did anybody get to be emperor anyway? By making war. I mean, not counting the transcendent emperor, obviously, who had banished the lost gods and started time. Yes, he should be emperor. He would make a great emperor.
Fuck
Right,
these
so?
things. You know, honestly, I love the stone. The stone is the best. The power. Nah, I don't need that shit.
Renato strode into the council. Let's do this thing. Let's make me emperor. They looked confused and nervous. Ah, had he mentioned the emperor thing? Yeah, he meant to bring that up later. I mean, let's go win this rebellion. He waved his sword around encouragingly. They ran. Cowards. He'd stop them. He cut down a few to inspire the others. But soon, there was no one to cut down. Well then, he'd have to attack the fleet alone. More for me, he said. Unless it was the stone that said it. Traitors. Traitors, all of them. They'd run rather than following him, rather than cheering him. What should he do to the cowards? Anything he wanted to. After all, he was a true hero, the best warrior there ever was. No one could stop him now. But first, finish him. The Emperor, that is.
Ooh, that was a burp. So yeah, but before I get caught up in the story again, I'm planning on weekend streams. Hopefully not this late.
Where was the rebel fleet? They weren't even trying an assault. They were going to miss a day in history. The downfall of this dynasty. And a new one to take its place. He didn't have to kill all the ravens. He could enslave them. And enslave the toads too. All the animals would worship him as a god. For he had once been a god. They would willingly give him their blood and their souls. And the world would change. Would become familiar again.
Sorry, listening to the story. But yeah, I was planning on starting weekend streams, like Saturday and Sunday streams, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna finish this up eventually. So holy crap! Everything came slow really fast. Anyways. I was planning on finishing this up, and then I'll try to move on to something else, whether it's doing Xenoverse.
Reynardo was glowing with dark power. Already the sun had dimmed. He could do anything, he realized. He could wrap the island safely in smoke again. He was beyond a hero. He was going to become a god again. How odd, he thought, that the Iblis Stone had nothing to say about any of this. Well, no matter. Once he killed this petty Toad Emperor, he would bring back the Black Sun.
I'm becoming too fast for their own good. Let's switch it up. Let's bring some fire into the equation. Ha ha ha. Ow.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Funny that this whole war had come about because the Emperor feared death. And now it was coming for him. There was some sort of lesson there, wasn't there?
Oh. Sorry, I got a text. Everything's just hilarious today. Alright, let's do this.
He found the Emperor and the Council huddling by his ship, plotting. They saw him and cowered before him. Back to hell, fiend, croaked the Emperor desperately. In the name of the Transcendent Emperor, croaked the speaker. They held some arcane items he didn't recognize. He simply flexed his will and sucked their souls out of their bodies. And Iblis exulted. It is finished. And the void that had been a mere stone on a sword expanded. It stretched and ripped like a vast womb. And a gaze black and pitiless as the sun passed through the void into the land. And so time ended.
I'm actually quite happy with that outcome. Really? Oh hey, I leveled up because of that. Okay, I'm happy now. Sweet. Alright, well, give me a second. Sorry. Hold on. I gotta reply to a text real fast. Work related stuff. Always work. Nothing but work. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to go too full into details, but let's continue. We actually got a story down, and I love it. I still got a ways to go. I'd want to get that last Lapino one, but I'm not 100% sure how to go about trying to get it. Yeah, I ain't looking it up.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Sorry, work. I'm pretty sure the golden key is something that I need. I should hold on. Let me look at the stories again. What did I do? Find the gem. Found the core. And I met the scientist. Find the gem, find Zenobia. Maybe I should spare her this time, unless that... Maybe that's what I need to do. Get the gem.
The island was windswept desert. No one went there except ostriches and ostrich hunters.
The Iblis Stone. It would whisper promises in his ear, offer him power for blood. But this time, Bernardo was sure he could master it.
And so, Bernardo went ostrich hunting.
Yay, ostrich hunting.
Every child could sing verses about the Sky Ripper, but ancient codices held hints of other things. A stone that ate souls, a ruby that drank blood, a jewel only a righteous man could give away.
Were all these things the Iblis Stone? Long hidden in a buried temple. Another ancient item that was only resurfacing now. Drawn up from the deeps by the Emperor's horrific rituals. What was he doing here? Last time, the stone had fought him for possession of his own soul.
Yes, but this time I need a new ending, so bite me. Oh, that explosion fucked me.
Already here, cawing in frustration.
I bet they were gone in frustration.
Good. And he hadn't come too late.
Oh, hey, yeah, I forgot I got my level up. Wait, hold on, what's... That seems like a good one. Get some hook shot. Yeah, let's go hook shot damage. Ow. Oh. Ooh. Give me health. Again, here's the thing. I love doing these late night streams. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. I already read that. But at the same time, like I said, I don't... Oh, I almost fucking got myself killed. I don't need a fucking chest right now. Okay. Maybe I should stick with the freezing sword, because the fucking explodey guys don't explode in my face. That,
Hey, wanna hook up?
There we go. Oh, okay, I'm starting to love the ice sword now. I still love my DPS sword, but the ice sword, that freeze. Oh my god, that freeze.
There had to be some way to use the Iblis Stone. It was old, wasn't it?
People are so much cleverer now. And Renato was pretty sure he was cleverer than most people.
Clever as a fox. Haha. There we go. Look at that. Skills.
The Ravens at least could not get past this point. Obviously the temple builders knew how to deal with tomb raiders.
Obviously not if we came this far. Either the Ravens are idiots.
You can't really reason with an energy ball, he thought.
Ow. Did not mean for that, but we'll work with it. Alright, Iblastone. Do your shit.
Stone of the purest blackness. It reflected no light, like a void made solid. Nervous, he picked it up. Who said that? It was the stone. Eager. Thirsty. That seemed tempting and terribly wrong. Zenobia was the Emperor's greatest general and a potent witch. But they had been close once.
And he had a sneaking suspicion the gem would try to control him.
Why not capture the core of Skyripper instead? It was the eye of a lost god torn out by the Transcendent Emperor to power his greatest weapon.
What's the core?
Said the stone anxiously.
But even though Renato knew how evil the gem was, he had a clever plan for dealing with it.
Well, no, we're gonna go for Zenobia.
Listening to a talking rock?
Ah, but the rock had a point. If the stone could truly turn him into a powerful warrior, he could defeat the Emperor with the very weapon the wicked old toad had sought for himself.
To be a hero, you had to sacrifice old friends sometimes, especially when they've become enemies.
So, now the question is, should I listen to Zenobia, or should I kill her and then go to the mountain and meditate?
As he placed the impossibly black crystal in his gauntlet, Renato had a sudden vision. Charred fields covered in dead ravens below a black sun.
Was it the time of the lost gods before the Transcendent Emperor? Was it the future? Feed souls, it whispered. Take the power. He could feel the stone's hunger for souls. Its thirst for blood. All right, I get it.
This was going to be interesting.
It's a bicycle.
God, no, that was for a chest. God damn it. Oh yeah, I do gotta go this way. I burn up a lot of stamina doing this, but at the same time, I love having that little dash. I don't need any more health. Fuck off with the health. Either energy or fucking experience.
elves on Zenobia's island were no match for Renato. They screamed as the stones sucked out their souls. And with each death, he felt stronger. Take the power, the stone told him.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he?
Alright, fuck that. We're going this way. I always take the hidden path.
This chest had teaspoons stolen from every inn in Boreas. Oh, and something more useful.
There we go. I love murdering things. Alright, lovely woman.
Zenobia was waiting for Renato. She was alone, confident as always. Fire danced at the tips of her claws.
Are you here to surrender?
She seemed as cocksure as he felt. But she didn't know he had the stone.
And I've missed you too, love.
He chuckled. She spotted the stone and bolted without another word.
Sorry. More work-related stuff. I want the experience.
Whoa, personal space?
See, I feel like it's games like these.
Stay frosty.
Alright. Come on, Zenobia.
Finally, Renato caught up to her. He had never seen her scared before. At
Right,
school,
give me a
she'd been
second.
a determined, brave one. Now her eyes were wide, frightened. He didn't like seeing her this way.
Kill her,
Whispered the stone.
you cannot win your rebellion without it.
Please. No, said Zenobia. Not that way. Oh, they had been so close once. Could he really feed her soul to his demonic gem? But if he spared her, he would not get the full power of the stone. Oh, how could he be the hero he wanted to be?
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. We can kill her again.
With a flick of his wrist, he slashed Zenobia's throat. Her eyes widened even more. And then the light went out of them. Renato felt amazing. Power was rushing into him like water from a burst dam. Such brilliance, exulted the Iblis stone.
Tasty.
He felt a bit bad about killing her. He was pretty sure she still loved him. But needs must when the devil drives. Renato returned to the Farfarer and set a course for the Nexus. The Empire had a communication outpost there. He could call the Emperor directly. It was time to seize the outpost and let the Emperor know what he had done. The Nexus was beautiful. He never realized how beautiful. Everything glowed. The wind was so sweet. The sunstones so warm. The black raven feathers. Black feathers. Suddenly, his eyes are filled with them. He's falling through smoke under a dead sun. A voice calls him home. Is this a vision? Whose? Is this the time of the lost gods? Or the future? No matter. What mattered now was killing his way to the Imperial outpost and challenging the Emperor from there.
Yes, indeed.
Lovely. Hold that pose.
Meh. You didn't like my style of freezing and annihilating them. Whatever. I thought it was a fucking good thing. Fuck if I know. Fuck you. Going this way. What did I not like? The fact, I don't know. Hold on. Ah, shit. Sorry, I'm on my phone again. Alright. There we go. Progress to the next room, that's all that mattered. Okay.
Up ahead was Lapino. What was he doing here? Bernardo! Hey, buddy! Hey there, old buddy! Please don't kill me! Why would I kill you? Asked Bernardo, although he had been thinking about it. You've become... And look, I mean, no disrespect at all here. Kind of evil? Maybe you should, I don't know, go to the mountains to have a think? See if maybe you're sure the stone is not all that healthy a thing to keep? I suppose you wanted, Renato said, and poked Lapino in the chest for emphasis. Oh, had he just killed Lapino? Damn it.
Good. Fucking deserves it.
Go to the outpost, use their far speaker, tell the Emperor what he'd done, and then he'd go to the secret federal base. Let them know he was ready to lead them to victory. Renato rampaged through the Imperial outpost like a water buffalo rampaging. At the last moment, he remembered not to kill the Farspeaker Toad. After all, he wanted a word with the Emperor. But there was only silence. The Emperor was scared, like little girl. Well, he would gather the rebel army and slaughter the Imperial fleet. Yes, applauded the Iblistone. Tremendous. Then the Emperor would have to answer his Farspeaker, wouldn't he? Who are you? Asked a distant voice that sounded uncomfortably like Zenobia. What have you become? The mountains. Go to the mountains, urged another that sounded a bit like Lapino.
Alright.
What are you doing? Demanded the Iblistone. I need to think, Renato told it. You're not good at thinking, said the Iblistone. You're good at killing. It's what you do. It's your destiny. But he set sail for the mountains, where he could be alone with his thoughts.
Alright. Yes. It's the right decision. I'm doing the right decision. I think.
Why were there Raven Scouts here in the empty mountains? Was there nowhere he could find peace and quiet? There were other ravens here too. Shadowy ones, transparent, lining the path. Ghosts. They cawed as he passed, but they didn't try to stop him. Spectators. Had he really killed that many ravens?
Oh, it's my guilty conscience, isn't it?
Then he saw her. Zenobia. She was a ghost too. She ran off when she saw him. How could a ghost be afraid? He followed her. He had to.
Good thing I did the first one. My first decision. Because I feel half-cocked guilty. I know all this is going to do is lead me to a chest, but maybe a shortcut? I don't know, there's lots of fucking ghosts just watching me.
Renato followed Zenobia's ghost. Had he gone mad, seeing ghosts? Was she running from him or leading him somewhere?
I hope leading.
He'd come here to be alone, but he'd never been less alone in his life. Every raven he had slain haunted these rocks. Was this who he was? A killer. He was terribly good at killing. He was an adventurer. Or was that just another word for killer? You kill, whispered the stone. It is what your masters told me.
Again, this is such a well-designed game. Like when I first started playing it, I think I said it on the live stream too. It's like it gives you that overhead Diablo feel to it.
Hey, who do I have to kill to get a drink around here? You? Okay.
The only thing I wish, like, it gave me a ton of opportunity to get those stones, and I got those stones easy. I hope when I got the fucking treasure hunting one. But I feel like I have to grind a ton just to get everything else unlocked.
Trying to focus on the job he had to do. The rebellion. Wasn't there a battle coming soon? Or there'd be ravens to kill. Even an emperor. Such killing. Much wow. Ooh, he'd never been so excited.
Alright.
At the end of the mountain path, Zenobia awaited him. Why did you kill me? She said. I was your prisoner, and I loved you. I needed the power, he said. Haven't you heard? There's a war on. Then what's your excuse for killing me? Asked his old friend Lapino, stepping out of the shadows. Because a filthy traitor? Said Renato. For once, Lapino didn't reply. The demon has twisted you, said Zenobia. Abandon the stone. You've lost too much already. Her words bit deeper than any sword ever had. So he shook his head, and once again swung his blade through her and Lapino. It had to all mean something. If he gave up the stone now, he would have sacrificed Zenobia and Lapino for nothing. So Renato set course for the Imperial fleet, where he would end it all. The Emperor, the war, the madness.
Oh my god. When I first downloaded this game, I honestly did not think I would enjoy it this much. But then again, you know, for most of the free download games that I downloaded and actually played through, I am enjoying it tremendously.
Renato boarded an Imperial ship. No one could stop him slashing his way towards the Emperor. Yes, that was right. To give up now would be to lose everything for nothing. But if he could liberate the land from the Mad Emperor, then he could give up the stone in peace. And those were absolutely his own thoughts. Not the stone manipulating him, right? Oh, yes, exulted the stone. You could hear a tiny voice within her. Madness? I have to kill the Emperor, he told himself. That's what it meant to be a hero. To do what had to be done, no matter how terrible the cost. Yes. And then you can have peace. Promised the stone. Hey, I hear black is the new dead.
Alright. For the buff guys, hit him with the freeze, kill him, switch over as fast as I possibly can.
tiny voice, whatever it was silent. He couldn't see ghosts around him, but he could feel them. If he gave up now, they would be angry. They would have all died for nothing. Who could give up this kind of power? Could anyone? Or he was just a fox with a talent for swordplay. How had this burden come to him? The Emperor offered the sword. Yes. That's what he wanted.
Yes. Sorry.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about this time. The Emperor was cowering in front of his ship.
No, please don't kill me.
Croaked Emperor Isengrim III.
Here, take the crown. I don't want it anymore. You must kill him, or he will have his troops. He will send assassins. Please, have mercy. The rebellion is won. Or you could be emperor. I'll just go be a scientist, or minstrel, or sell gummy bears.
Oh, God, hold on.
With all the love he'd ever had for Zenobia, for Lapino, for the kit foxes he would never have, Renato raised his sword. And Renato plunged his sword into his own chest.
Wait. What?
Renato screamed as his life force ebbed into the stone and surged back into him, and ebbed out and surged back in. Screamed the stone. It began to heat up.
What have you done?
The stone began to glow. It became white hot. It became lava. Nice knowing you, said Renato, as the lava ran like butter. And he died.
Hold on, taking a break. Jiminy crickets. Alright, sorry about that long intermission. Did not mean for it to be that long. I'll have to... On the archive video, I'm gonna have to edit that out because that was a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. But no. Oh no, I listened to the voices. This one was that I'm at the council. And this one... fuck. Let's go for the armature this time. I think that's one of the things I have to hit. This might be my again, because it took me so long, this might be the last video I do, or last story I do for this live stream, and I might switch to something else.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Bernardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion, and he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
'Cause I know that's... Hold on, I have to look back again. So let's find the armature.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces deep. And then, this Emperor's horrific sacrifices had brought it back to the surface. Renato wasn't exactly sure how to use the legendary weapon. But surely, there must be some way to do it without provoking another catastrophe. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the Earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Fuck. Kind of looked at the time and realized it's fucking... Ugh.
As he set foot on the island, Renato couldn't help feeling a bit curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued? No. He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne? Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty, come to think of it. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it?
Yeah, you probably could stick with it if I actually concentrated on the game. Oh, what's this way? I don't think I ever went this way. And that's why. Oh. Nope, just the chest. Hence why I never go that way.
Boy,
That hurt.
folks could kill.
Yeah, fuck the patrol.
That had been his mistake before, not trusting Zenobia's feelings for him. But how could he have known, after all these years of silence? Renata was looking for a big chest. Wait, that didn't sound right.
I found a big chest. Wait. No, I was right. Oh. Yeah, damn well, give me good. Puzzles.
The contraption wasn't even trying anymore. As if it knew it had met its match.
Alright.
Sky Ripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How is it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
Well, let's look at this. So
Renato asked himself why he changed course to confront Zenobia. He'd no idea. Sometimes he would just do things, and he could never figure out why he'd done them. Usually, they worked out. After all, he was a hero.
yeah, but you do have a point, but at the same time it's like I feel like this is the choice.
The truth is, though, he wanted to see her, wasn't it? It had been a dozen years since Swordfu School. He'd followed every rumor about her, every scrap of news. Not that he still loved her. After all, she was his enemy. No, it was solely because know your enemy. All right, maybe he should stop pretending. He knew exactly how she felt about him. But their love affair always ended with a tragic death. Unless maybe he could find a way to dodge tragedy. Surely he could, couldn't he?
Yeah, I know. Starting to love the ice sword.
Once, Renato had been to a dungeon where all the chests were locked. It was awful.
Open it.
He couldn't do worse with Zenobia than he'd done with the core, could he? Gogglers. Renato hated gogglers. It was almost impossible to sneak past them. If one didn't spot you, another one would.
Yeah.
The eyes have had it. Renato wasn't entirely sure how he was going to capture Zenobia. She'd be expecting him. And he didn't have Lapino to cook up a clever plan. Why was it again that he hadn't got the core? Maybe because the results tended to be disastrous. These streets were familiar. The Swordfu School was closed now. But he had been down that street 1,000 times. He knew that pub. He knew that alley. He knew the alley behind it much too well. No wonder Zenobia had chosen to invade this island herself.
So many memories. Beautiful, beautiful.
Actually tell each other apart. Because I'm thinking name tags.
Bernardo slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up on her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek, how soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She vanished. And he suddenly noticed he couldn't move except his mouth. In fact, soon he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He told Zenobia everything. Skyriver, the Iblistone, even where the secret rebel base was, until he was hoarse. It was some kind of truth spell. A talky truth spell. She called her father by Farspeaker Toad and filled His Majesty in. But why didn't he get the core? Croaked the Farspeaker in something like His Majesty's croak. Because I missed you, darling. Renato grinned. He doesn't even know why, frowned Zenobia. That makes no sense. It's a trap, shouted the Emperor. I'll meet you at the outpost, and I'll bring my interrogators. If Renato came face to face with the Emperor, maybe he could assassinate him. But maybe it would be smarter and safer to turn Zenobia against her father.
Oh, definitely.
She said. Somehow you're lying. The spell hadn't worn off yet. He had to tell the truth. The trick was in making sure she wouldn't believe it. The core is perfectly safe, he said. And he tried his hardest to sound sincere. So is the Iblistone. In fact, I was trying to get them myself. Fine then. Interrogators it is, she said angrily. I gave you a chance. The Emperor's interrogators were not especially gentle, even by Weasel standards. Fortunately, Zenobia had locked him in the guest quarters on her ship, and she'd forgotten it had a toilet that, like all skyship toilets, could be vented into the abyss. This was not the sort of slippery fox he wanted to be. But just as they were about to land, he threw the latch, wrinkled his nose, and leapt through the open latrine.
Exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I needed.
It was a short, safe landing. At least this part of the Nexus hadn't changed too much. Zenobia had been taking him to the Imperial outpost. She'd never expect him to go there by himself. Well, maybe she would. You never knew with her. Renato had been to a dungeon once where all the chests had teeth and eyes. It had been a short visit.
Damn fucking right.
Renato knew Zenobia, and Zenobia knew him. She'd suspected a trick. Now he'd vanished.
She would probably guess that was his plan all along. Perfect. Maybe she wouldn't use the Sky River. At least not without taking it to the scientists at the observatory first. Meanwhile, the Emperor would be coming to the outpost personally. This could be good. Renato was face to face with the Emperor's bodyguard. They looked very tough, but the Emperor held them back.
Oh, where's my daughter?
And how would I know that? Renato grinned at him.
She lured me here so that you could kill me, didn't she?
Ah, don't be ridiculous, said Renato, trying his best to sound convincing. She loves you.
Oh, I knew it. The rabbit told me I couldn't trust her.
The Emperor hopped out the door. His phalanx of bodyguards retreated carefully. Renato heard someone call, "Arrest her!" as they left. Well, that's a job well done, thought Renato. Now the fleet will be in all sorts of disarray. But maybe he could find her in the mountains. She always used to go to the mountains to hide from the world. Maybe he could even turn her against her father. Or maybe he could reap the benefits of the chaos he had sown. It was time to report to the Rebel Council, and then launch the attack on a divided and very confused Imperial fleet.
Two new options, but Love's gonna talk to me first. I'm gonna find Zenobia. I'm gonna talk to her.
Renato felt very clever indeed. He told the Empire nothing but the truth. And now they suspected everything and everyone. So, why are you going to see Zenobia? He asked himself. It's not just a gloat, is it? No, of course not. Not turning her against her father was good. It was very good. If she would actually join the rebels, that would be spectacular, right? That was definitely what he was doing.
This is gonna end up getting me killed, isn't it? Should.
He wondered if he should have just told her the truth about her father. The Emperor had adopted her from a stray. That was the source of all her loyalty. But even then, he'd been dreaming of a bargain with the lost gods. They alone could make him immortal. The Emperor would have to seal that bargain with the life of someone who truly loved him. And who else truly loved the Emperor? But how could Renato tell her that now? Why would she ever believe him?
Time to get some health. No, fuck it.
Yes. The funny thing was, she should have trusted him. He told her the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Oh, all right. The truth was, he'd played her like a fiddle. And how often had he ever done that? She was so smart. Smarter than him, really. chest smelled kind of funky. He hoped he didn't get it in his clothes.
Yes. Yes. Bring me higher. Bring me farther. No.
Renato had given away the location of the secret base. Fortunately, the Emperor thought it was all a trap. He even mistrusted his own daughter. Renato couldn't have done better if he'd planned it.
Zenobia,
What
baby.
have you done to me? Zenobia demanded. My own father thinks I'm a traitor. So? But I'm loyal. So what? You're a bastard, Renato, she said. Now, you love that about me. You really did want the core, didn't you? And the Iblis stone. Yep. He gloated. You get all that? She said to the far speaker toad he'd failed to spot.
I am so relieved, my daughter.
Said the far speaker. And Zenobia got into her ship and flew off. Damn it. The old far speaker trick. How had he missed it? This was very bad. Zenobia back in her father's good graces, and both of them ready to use the core and the Iblis stone. He got back on the Farfarer. Briefly, Renato thought of fleeing. The odds were surely against him. Never tell me the odds, he told himself. Odds confused him. He preferred to trust his gut. And so he sailed on to attack the fleet. Alone, if necessary.
God. Should just fucking went with the confusion. Should have went with the confusion.
There were not many rebels here, and they were disorganized. The Empire had obviously attacked the secret base. The formerly secret base, whose location Renato had so helpfully pinpointed on a map. There was still time to turn around, wasn't there? But Renato hated turning around. Heroes don't turn around, they just own their screw-ups and turn them into impossible victories, right? Ooh, a portal that led right into the middle of the fleet. It was a glaring weakness in the defense.
Moving the fuck along. All right.
The odd thing was, Bernardo's personal battle was going fairly well. The Ravens immediately in front of him were no quicker or tougher than usual. Where was the power of the core? Blasting him off into the abyss. And where was Zenobia? She must be up to something. But whatever it wasn't his problem. Not yet, anyway. It was all going surprisingly well.
Yeah, surprisingly well until my ass gets murdered.
Check, please.
Infuriated right now. Take a decade and a half.
At last, he came to Zenobia and the Emperor. She was sealing up a kind of squat coffin, banded with lead.
So glad you're here.
Croaked the Emperor.
You will be witness to my final victory.
That's creepy, Dad, said Zenobia. But thank you. Because of your shenanigans, we tested the core. It's really unstable. It could have blown us all up. It could, said Renato, a little frustrated that she'd figured it out. Anyway, we already destroyed your secret base, so we don't need a super weapon. We're just going to bury it. Do we, torture you? Or give you a medal? Sometime later, Renato got an invitation to attend the Emperor's ritual sacrifice of his daughter. They took him out of his dungeon cell and gave him all his medals to wear. A little while after that, the lost gods returned, and the sun went black, and the Emperor ate his soul.
Oh, it was the no. Oh my. A hero doesn't turn back even after screwing up. I don't need those win essence. I need experience, but oh my god. Sweet. Alright. Give me a second. I'm gonna go out, take a small break, and decide what I'm doing. So give me a moment. Alright. So, I need a little bit more time to think on it. But I'm going to end this live stream here. And I'll move on to whatever I decide. Maybe I'll probably do a little bit of Rocket League. Live stream that for a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. But for now, this is where I'm going to leave off. So a long ways to go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. God fucking 12? Whatever. I got 12 more stories I gotta complete. So there's a lot more live streams gonna happen. And I'll probably, who knows, I'll probably continue it tomorrow. But for now, I'm gonna switch games. But I will see you all next time. You have a good one.